You let the wrong people in your marriage.
How to love without losing your identity. How people test your emotional availability. Letting go versus giving up. The marriage roommates trap. Carrying the load. The emergency poop story.
You let the wrong people in your marriage.
Welcome to the Morrow Marriage podcast, guys. And I want to get crystal clear on why we are talking about this today. If you just missed our February event, we had this incredible live event. And I want to prove why you need to have the right people in your marriage. Because you do. You let the wrong people in your life guiding you, influence you. You let the wrong, like things you look at on social media. Like all of this gets in the way of where you're going. So I want to talk about that a little bit, and then I want to share some incredible feedback from the event. And some of this we saw real time, guys. That's how fast this can go.
Hold on though. I love that you just said even what you're watching on social media. So it's not just the people that you're exposed to. It's the things that you see and hear on social media on the other side of a screen. Mm-hmm. Brilliant.
Thank you. If you didn't catch that, she said, brilliant. Okay,
Genius.
Why? Genius. Why? Thank you, baby. Why is this so important? Because when you let whatever you choose influence you, you're quite often losing, okay? Now, that's because sometimes you can make great choices based off influence or the people that you do see on social media or the people
don't
you
stop
know physically.
watching this podcast.
Yeah, of course, like this podcast should be breathing life into you, right? But like we tell you all the time, like the most important thing is where you're at physically with people, the who, okay? And why. All right, so let's use some of the big examples that we always think of. Like it's really tough when you have a family member or family members who don't like your spouse, okay? But it's a common thing, or vice versa, by the way. It's a common thing. And so we often get ourselves in a position where we don't even know how to address this, right? Meaning, it's my family, it's my mom, let's say, okay? Or it's my spouse. You're stuck into a battle of choosing, and there never was a choice. The day that you married your partner, that's the person you protect first.
Leave and cleave.
That's right. Explain that, please. So
you leave your parents. So you use the example of a parent, right? Mm-hmm. Or did I just hear that?
Nope, you got that.
I was in my mind because one of my coaches talked to a lady this morning, and the lady's husband is very much still attached to the mother, and that's what Renee said. She said, leave and cleave, and I've heard that before. So you leave and cleave. That means that you leave your partner. Or sorry, you don't leave your partner. You leave your parents to be with your spouse.
Exactly. And so the moment you have negative influence from your, let's say, mom here in this case, and you are worried about their approval, afraid of their disapproval, you forget that your priority is your partner, okay? And why does this matter? Well, because that means that you have to learn skills. Listen, we are doing so much work with preparation for working with businesses because actually, let's just use, there's 7 bleeds we've identified, meaning that are affecting the bottom line, okay? Well, what we know is that one of those massive ones is all of the problems leading up to and going through a divorce. For example, this affects, actually, I was wrong. Let me clarify. That's why I want to bring this one up. It's not an extra 2 weeks that employees at work, not actually physically working in the meeting, but not present, on a sales call, but not selling. It's actually 168 hours. That is over 1 month of work, productivity, bottom line, affected by somebody going through a fight with their wife and in through a divorce, okay?
That's 5 weeks and 1 day,
yes,
to be exact.
Isn't that
That's
crazy?
Not 2 weeks. It's
okay.
5 weeks and 1 day that your employees are not doing what they're supposed to do at full capacity.
And you're like, isn't it
wild?
It's mind-boggling, and yet you're putting more money into marketing, or you're trying to get them a fucking sales class when they don't have the skills. Because guys, this will stack and stack and stack. And stay tuned. I've got a ton of YouTube long-form content I'm putting out on this because I'm so passionate about this, because it's not an economy problem. It's a fucking you problem and what you're training your employees on, okay? But why does this matter? Okay, so let's just use that exact example now. So you're now putting your employees into some training. Let's just say it is on more sales training, learning how to be empathetic with the person that they're trying to sell so that all of a sudden they'll be hopefully more inclined to buy something, okay? Well, you're actually training them in manipulation. Now go back to the problem we have where we have divorces and this 168 hours, this 5 weeks that you are not actually producing, sorry, thank you for listening, producing, okay? You are now forcing your employee under this example to be in the wrong state of mind to go home and actually communicate better, actually have better conversations, meaning you should be giving them better training when it comes to teamwork, understanding leadership, conversations, rather communication in your world, okay? And so if you understand that, we can actually dictate a better way for our staff. Well, if you are not doing this for your people, or your boss isn't doing it for you, you're still choosing the wrong people. Using the parent example, what about your friends? I saw a guy at our event calling his friend, wondering what to do because his wife was leaving him. Fast forward a little later, after our conversation, we can address that she's leaving, she's got the kids, there's nothing he can do, he's at the event, she's basically, in her mind, divorced, okay? And so I could walk him through what better way to do things, okay? That's a better thing to do than talk to your fucking buddy who has no fucking clue, because otherwise he's sending panic text messages, wondering if she's leaving. And here's the thing, go back to manipulation. He doesn't even know it, but he's sitting there trying to play it off the fact that what if the kids are safe? This is abnormal behavior. The kids must not be safe. That's an illusion he's creating in his mind, probably from talking to fucking buddies. You know what I mean? Or just living.
Why would the kids not be safe? The kids have been safe this whole time, and you left them in Canada with your wife, with a safe person. Now all of a sudden they must not be safe?
Yeah. And
you're talking to the wrong person.
Talking to the wrong person. Because even it took me 5 minutes to get him to realize these kids are safe. Okay, yeah, but shit was knocked down in the garage. Well, stop looking at your fucking video cameras for fuck's sakes, because you know they're safe, okay? And then realize that, well, dude, I hate to break this to you, and this really sucks, but that means she left in a hurry. That's all that means. Shit. Or I mean, I didn't say this to him, or you just didn't clean your fucking garage properly and somebody knocked it over getting in the car, okay? But the people that you have around you, they do matter. They do. You need people who understand during stress what it feels like to be insecure, so you don't handle something the wrong way. When you start to recognize this, I mean, this goes back to like, you're trying to get the right people if you're trying to leave alcohol and you're going to AA, and we know that they sit there and tell you to start with your name and you're an alcoholic. Why in the fuck would you want to go to AA meeting and instead of finding a support group like somebody like us who knows what the fuck we're doing, where you're not an alcoholic? You can remove the label. Hi, you're following me. I'm Cass. I used to be a narcissist. Why? Because I didn't talk to people that were continually pushing me into what it means to be a narcissism and all the fucking issues that I was raised to learn and skills I was learning from my dad, who is a narcissist, blah, 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 blah. No, I put positive people in my life, namely Kathryn, who was able to show me and help me finally click and realize I couldn't receive love. That's important. I realize you're supposed to not be that person, but I had other people. Okay, you have to understand it's only people moving you in the right direction. Now, I want to tie this to the event because this is the most exciting fucking thing, okay? We tell you that you get a lot of value from, let's say, watching content, maybe making some notes, reading our books, certainly from the podcast where it's true, authentic. That's why we don't put breaks in the middle of podcasts. We want you to see real time what we're thinking as we're speaking, okay? And so you can see how much you gain from the value of this episode. That's why we say, imagine what it's like when you're with us. Here's what you don't know if you don't come to an event. You see, how many team members do we have? 8? That showed up?
I don't know. Quite a handful.
Yeah, I'd have to do the math, but I know it sounds funny, do the math on 8, but
counting 1.
That's right. We had a bunch of clients, and we had a lot of people who only had ever listened to the podcast. You know what? I just want to go. I've listened to one guy, he said, I've listened to every episode, some of them twice, okay? And he asked his wife, he said, you know what? I think we should go. He didn't ask, he sort of led, okay? And they came, wonderful couple. But what that couple who never experienced us coaching with them, talking to them, being around us saw was our team and even our clients using the same skills. So it's like an immediate relief, like, holy fuck, this is real. Not only did they see from us that it's truly authentic, I mean, shit, you told our team, and this couple that I'm thinking of actually came to our house.
Shh, we're not telling the world.
I'm not telling the world. Came to our house and we
What is he going to tell everybody? We don't know.
Well, if you don't know, I can confidently say we're both kind of perverted in our marriage. We love dirty shit. And anyway, so essentially, I mean now that is, and so essentially we told our team some of this stuff. And it's not dirty if it's normal for you. And we told our team this stuff, right? So what you see is, like, if you think about how we've talked about it on our podcast, and we have this team of ours, these people of our family laughing their ass off going, holy shit, Well, I guess it's real. Not because they witnessed us do it, no, but because they could tell how authentic and real it is. Now, fast forward.
And it was really funny. Cass was laughing so hard he couldn't breathe.
I couldn't breathe. Oh, fuck, it was funny.
We had one of the best nights with our staff.
Yeah, with our family. It was wonderful. And
so
now, sorry, I said fast forward. I want you to rewind, go back into the event where, as we're speaking, we're remembering every single person and what they talked about, what their question was, what they were feeling, what they're going through, what we walked them through. That one couple where I was like, where I put my back to each of them and told their spouse what they were feeling, you know, powerful. Now we tied that all in over, but here's the cool thing. By the end of the event, you see all of our staff having so much fun interacting, using all of these tools. What you might take personally, they're laughing their asses off. So, and you can see, like, as our team is like talking to the other people, as we are talking to the people who never experienced even coaching yet, just podcasts, let's say, okay? They're literally walking up going, I want more of that. I can't believe, like, how can I see you? Are you gonna do a men's retreat? Are you gonna do a women's retreat? How can I get more of this? How can I be around you guys more? These are their questions. We didn't even have to say anything to them, because when you see it live, isn't it fucking cool?
Yeah.
Everybody's was like a jungle gym to everybody else's kids. That would be a section called Manic Kids in my program. You know, everybody's having so much fun. Everybody's clearly driven. Everybody's talking about, one woman walked up and said, because Dennis is the president of our company, and Dennis introduced us every session. And Dennis, he was talking about purpose for one of those sessions. And a lady came up and said, because I talked about purpose and legacy and why it's so important, why you need it to save your marriage, basically finding yourself and how you give back. And this woman comes up and goes, when is his book released? I want it now, right?
Good.
Because she heard about Dennis's purpose. She saw our family, each of them talking about why they work with us, why they're never going anywhere, why they're moving up with the company, and what their true dream is, and what their individual purposes are. And it was so fucking cool. It inspires so much more that you just said just before we started filming, you said one man jumped on the app and got in, right? Mm-hmm. This is a man whose wife was already involved with Kathryn's side, but now he's in because he sees all of the men going. There was another woman asked about the men's retreats because she watched her husband hanging out with real men going somewhere in their fucking life. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It really is about who you let into your life.
And there was another woman, I don't know if I told you this, but one of the other ladies that came after the event jumped into the second program that we have offered right now.
Oh, amazing. Oh, and I want to just give you a couple cool testimonials. We're going to get these produced for you guys. But basically, this one woman, she was like, she opened up. I was asking people about their fears, and she basically gave the longest list out of anybody that spoke. And I'm sorry, I can't. I hope Daniel got it as he talked to her maybe later. But
Daniel's the videographer.
Yeah, Daniel's the videographer. But I'm sorry, I can't quite remember the exact words. But basically, when she was at the event, what she has said, this part I do know. She was like, it basically led to like, I'm afraid of wasting. I'm afraid of
being unhappy.
Unhappy. That was what you called it. You summarized it. But the last 10 years they were married for 2 decades. And so the last 10 years, and I was like, so you're afraid of the next 10, 20, 30, 40. Wasting more time. And she was like very close on the edge of tears. And Kathryn said, you're afraid of being unhappy. That woman sat down at dinner with us, and I said, what did you take away? Did you get value? You know, what was your favorite part? Did you get value? And she said, this is the part I can't quite remember. It was something along the lines of, now I can see I have hope.
Ooh,
or you've given me hope, something like that. Oh, we remarried a couple at the end of Saturday session. We remarried them, and we have special unique vows that we do when we remarry somebody. And basically, one of our family members Dennis's wife got a picture of everybody's arms, everybody that was a couple there, not obviously the people that were with their spouse wasn't there, but everybody was touching in some way, a hand on a back, a hand on a shoulder, a hand on a leg, including the Hope woman. You know, so like, it's just so cool, guys. And they're on their way to divorce, by the way. Like, it's so cool. It really is who you choose to let in to your life, you know?
Yeah.
And then don't forget that
what he's saying is, choose to let us into your life.
Yeah, if you're
our family, our staff, our people.
That's right. You know, so for now, you're going to want to join the program, or you could get on the waiting list for the next event. I wouldn't personally wait if you're trying to move your life forward, but do both, right? You know, morrowmarriage.com. Just go to the men's side or the women's side and apply. Like, basically what that means is just share some of your story with us, okay? Watch some trainings to make sure it's a good fit for you. Want to make sure that you want to continue. And then morrowmarriage.com/event, and you can get up on the waiting list for the next one, which should be in July. All right, guys, we'll see you next time.
Bye.